All right, hey guys, Mr. West here. So next thing we're going to be modeling is the cow catcher. I'm going to start on my XZ axis and just kind of go from there. So start over here. I am going to rotate this way, so I'm looking at it kind of similarly to how I'm looking at it on my actual sketch. I'm going to go through and I'm going to start this off at the bottom. So these two sides are going to be kind of mirrored. First shape I'm going to model is going to be this base. So I'm going to go here to here. I know that that's going to need to be 1.8 inches, so I'm going to go through and redimension that to be 1.8. I'm going to hit enter. I also know that I need a point up there. Well, I need to figure out a couple things first. So I need to know that this one here is going to be 0.25 and it's going to be square. I lost my mouse there for a second. So this is going to be 0.25. And I'm going to do another line. This is going to be 0.25. First part of this I'm going to be modeling is the bottom. So I'm going to go through and add these next 2 points. So these are going to meet up over here. I am just going to make a point just to make my life a little bit easier. And I'm going to dimension it from the base to the tip here is going to be 1 inch. And then from here to here, it's going to be 0.9. So then now I can go in and add my line here, and add my line here, and I know that that's going to be the dimension that I want it to be. And I'm going to finish my sketch. Next thing I'm going to do is create an offset plane. From this workpiece, I'm going to go up 0.75, because that's going to be the overall height of this cow catcher. So we're going to go 0.75. And I'm going to create a new sketch up here. And I'm going to rotate it so I'm looking at it the same way. This is my other sketch. I am now actually, as you can see, I am above that. So we're going to go kind of back up here and we're going to do it this way. I'm just going to start here on the same back plane. I know that this dimension is going to have to be 1.2, excuse me, 1.2. And then I do want this actually to be kind of in the center. So I'm going to project this geometry, but as a construction line. And hopefully that's going to let me actually do that. Project geometry, okay. As a construction line, yes. So I can use my midpoint constraint here to here to actually lock that in place. So I have this projected construction line, and then I use this midpoint constraint to lock the middle of this line to the middle of that line. I'm going to turn off my construction line so I don't have that to worry about anymore. Next thing I'm going to do is find the rest of my dimensions. So I know that it's going to have that 0.25 up again. So 0.25, click, escape, line, 0.25. And then I know my other point is not going to be 1 inch in, it's going to be 0.75 in. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to create a point right about there, and I'm going to go from here to here, should be 0.75, which it is, and then from here to here, just for good measure, should be 0.6. Then I'm going to do line, line, and line. So now I have all those. I'm not sure why this is showing up as unconstrained, but we're just going to roll with it. So now I have these two sketches that are one on top of the other. I'm going to go through and do what's called a loft. So I'm going to click on my two profiles, and it's going to create that kind of overall shape. I'm just going to click OK. Next thing I want to do is go up and create the, scrolled the wrong way. I'm going to go in and create this little emboss part here. So I'm just going to start a new sketch on this face, and I'm going to just kind of do a projection of this geometry, and I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to actually just kind of make this parallel to all of that. So I'm just going to kind of make that rough shape. Doesn't really matter right now. And I'm going to go parallel, boop, boop. And it says it's over constrained, but there we go. It's going to be parallel there. That's going to be parallel there, and this is going to be parallel here. So that makes that completely parallel. And now, so it gives me a 0.1 inch typical dimension. So that means from here to here, it's going to be 0.1. And then from here to here, it's going to be 0.1. And then from here to here, it's going to be 0.1. And then from here to here, you guessed it, it's going to be 0.1. So now that I have that in place, I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. Now that emboss looks like it went back in. Okay, so using some deductive reasoning, I can tell that the shell is normally going to be 0.1 inch, but right there it's 0.5. So I am just going to extrude that back in 0.5. Or sorry, 0.05. And I'm going to use that as a cut. Actually, I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to make this model on this other side, same way. Do the same sketch, project. Actually, I don't really need to project, but I just need to make this kind of same shape. And I'm going to do my parallel constraints here to here, here to here, here to here, and here to here. Do my dimensions again, here to here, here to here of 0.1, 0.1, from, oops, wrong button, here to here of 0.1, here to here of, nope, not an angle, let me get out of there, escape, here to here of 0.1, and here to here of 0.1. Okay, congratulations, that's done. Next thing I'm going to go through and do is actually shell out this bottom end. So I'm going to use my shell command, and I'm just going to click on this bottom face. I want my inside thickness to be 0.1 because it says it's 0.1 typical, which just means it's going to be 0.1 all the way around, and I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm going to go through and do the cut operation for these. That was odd. Wasn't expecting that. Profiles. I should be able to select both of these. Maybe not. Okay, it doesn't like that. We're going to go back. So I'm just going to say minus. Select all that, minus 0.05. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Minus 0.05. Oh, not slash. 0.05. And I want that to be a cut, and I'm going to hit OK. The other thing I did is I forgot to turn this into a component, so real quick, I'm going to go ahead and do new component from bodies, and I'm just going to select that, and I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to go rename it to cow catcher, and hit OK. So now you can see I kind of have this overall profile. Next thing I need to do is go in and add those pegs. So I am going to go create a new sketch on this back face. I'm going to turn off the visibility for my train body just for now, so I have more to work with. I'm also going to turn off the wheel, the axle peg, the linkage peg. I'm just going to turn off everything that isn't the cow catcher that I'm working on right now, just for the sake of getting it done. I'm going to go through and I'm going to add the 3 circles that are on here. So I'm just going to make a circle, circle, and circle. These are not to size yet. We are going to go through and do that in a moment. So I can tell just based on the relative location. I'm going to go ahead and dimension these where they need to go. So this one from here to here needs to be 0.625. And then from here to here, wait, hold on a moment. That's what I'm looking for. So this one here needs to be 0.125 from the bottom, and then from here to here needs to be 0.275. And then we dimension the rest of those to there. So from here to here, we've got 1.25. And then from here to here, we're given 0.625. I'm going to click OK. This one should also be 0.125, but I'm going to use my horizontal constraint for that to go from there to there. Ta-da. The other thing I need to do is go in and make sure the diameter is correct. So I'm given a diameter of 0.125 typical. So I'm going to go here and type 0.125. And I'm going to do that for this, 0.125, and for this, 0.125, and hit OK. And then I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude all of these pieces, 1, 2, 3, and I am going to extrude them to a distance of 0.125. Then I'm going to go through and add that chamfer, that 0.01 inch at 45 degrees. Chamfer, click, click, and click, 0.01 at 45 degrees. So now, as you can see, we have this fully modeled, and that is the cow catcher. So I'm going to turn on the visibility of everything else. And I do, at this point, kind of want to verify that that looks like that's going to work. It looks like it might not. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to measure the distance from here to here vertically. So that's, or it's going to give me that angle. Can actually do that. So if I turn on this XYZ delta, it will show me. So it's 0.625 from there. So I think is what happened. Deselect that. I think I read it a little bit wrong. Yeah, that's 0.5 from there. So the hole on the train should be 0.625 from, aha, that might have been a mistake on my part. So if you were following all of this video series to a T, you should go back at this point, find this hole, which we're going to go do now, train body, bodies, body 1. I can go and find that other sketch, which is going to be way back here. It's going to be this one. Where were those holes created? Those holes were created here. So it's going to be this sketch right here. It's not 0.625 from there to there. It's 0.625 from here to here. If you will let me dimension that, that would be wonderful. From here to here, 0.625. And hit OK. Now we go and finish our sketch. See, so that's why we do that, right? We want to make sure that that fits. Because if we were to go to manufacture that part right now, we would end up with a non-functional part. So now that we fixed that, everything's good. We are good to go. So, and then again, we can go back and do the measurement. I'll click this and this. Make sure my XYZ delta is checked. I still have that 0.5 in the Y direction. I'm going to close this. Do the same thing over here. Nope, no, deselect that. And we're going to go from here to here. And we still have that 0.5 in the Y direction and that 0.625 there. Okay, so that is good. Congratulations, we've done it correctly this time. We fixed our, well, I fixed my mistake. Hopefully you guys didn't make that mistake beforehand. But I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit OK. And now we have all the pieces modeled. So the next thing we're going to be doing is putting this whole thing into an assembly. I'll see you guys there.